Your Honor.
All right, Diana, it's two cases. Court is calling 2022 CR 7131 and 2023 CR 0036, State of Texas versus Adam Stacy. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins and Travis Banks for the state.
Defense.
Andrew Priest for the defense.
And are you Adam Stacy?
Yes, ma'am. Adam Stace.
Counsel, I'm sorry,
Stace.
Adam Stace. Wow. Thank you for letting me know. I always tell everyone you should correct somebody when they're mispronouncing your name. Counsel, in each of these cause numbers, have you received all of the discovery and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
And each cause number, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. And each cause number, Mr. Stace, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision
Yes, Your
with
Honor.
your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And each cause number, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment in each cause number?
We do, Your Honor.
State and the cause number ending in 7131, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
And in cause number ending in 0036, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
And each cause number, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? Did you sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the cause number ending in 31, you're charged with the offense of theft, 2,500 to 30,000. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. And the cause number ending in 36, you're charged with the offense of assault family second offense. That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And each cause number, if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And each cause number, you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering pleas, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in each cause number?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, in each cause number, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Stace, in each cause number, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes,
And each cause number, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. And here is this. And each cause number, I'm showing you what's entitled plea bargain agreement. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes, ma'am.
According to the plea ending in cause number 31, punishments be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's a $500 fine. State recommends community supervision. The cases will run concurrent. They're taken in consideration. NIMAC number 729876. There's to be restitution, if any, to Viviana Leyendecker, Leyendecker, Cats 1 and 2. And the cause number ending in 36, punishments be assessed at 5 years in prison. There's a $0 fine. State recommends community supervision. The cases will run concurrent. They'll take into consideration NIMAG number 729875, 729876, grand jury number 804891. And there's to be the BIPP course in an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargaining agreement in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
state,
Yes, Your Honor.
showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph in each cause number. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours community service restitution, no contact with Melinda Kinney. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then in the cause number ending in 3-1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Contest.
And the cause number ending in 3-6, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Family Violence, have you had contact with the complainant in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, the complainant in this case was signed an affidavit of non-prosecution.
Thank you. In each cause number, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review those did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, in each cause numbers, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty in each cause number. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just two things, Judge. Regarding the community service, my client has informed me that he's currently disabled. He just has concerns about being able to complete the community service, be able to find something he'd be able to do with his disability. We would ask if the court would be willing to possibly probate a portion of the fine in return for him possibly taking some other class. Regarding the no contact order, Judge, I believe we were in agreement for some type of no contact order. We were requesting a no harmful or injurious contact order. The complainant in that case is his wife. My understanding is they're still together. As the state mentioned, she did file a affidavit of non-prosecution. So we would ask if the court would consider a no harmful or injurious contact order on that case, due to the fact that they are married and she did submit a affidavit of non-prosecution on this case.
All right, Mr. Stace, how long have you been disabled?
I've been pending disability for about 4 years.
All right, so in 2021, you would have still been disabled, right? So how heavy was the object that you took from the U-Haul?
The object was probably about like 30 pounds, maybe
Oh.
like that, not even that.
Let me just tell you, if you can lift 30 pounds,
My problem is my back is bending over and walking. I can't be on my feet longer than 10-15 minutes. I have to sit down.
but see, here's the problem.
Yeah.
You went to somebody's U-Haul at a hotel where you're staying, and according to the police report I read, you were lifting a heavy object. It states, suspect 1, which is you, could be seen carrying a heavy object away from the U-Haul. So you had to carry it from the U-Haul to your room in room 1119.
No, ma'am. My truck was right next to it, and I was, to be real, I was drunk. I was on drugs. So I lifted it like and walked 5 feet and put it in the back of my truck.
So you lifted a heavy object,
Like
And
25
walked 5
pounds.
feet,
It was like
25 well, you
pounds.
said 30 pounds at
30,
first.
25 pounds.
All right, so you walked from a U-Haul, lifted a heavy item, and you walked 5 feet. I'm not waiving his community service. And let me ask you, who is Tanganyika? Sorry, Diana, Tanganyika. Who is that to you?
I was an old friend. I don't even talk to her anymore. I haven't talked to her
So you and your old friend
2 years.
in 2021, you had a hotel room with that person, and y'all were staying in a hotel room together.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
And then you were still married at that time.
No, T knows my wife. Me and my wife were arguing, we call her name is T, I'll call her T. She got a room, so I had no money because I'm not able to work. So I was able to stay the night with her at the room. I was
And did
just
she
there
not
with her.
have her own place? Or she just go around in hotel rooms and staying in them with
Yes,
people?
ma'am. She's homeless too. Her parents kicked her out. She goes to hotel to hotel.
All right, well, that's gonna be between you and your wife after this probation is over.
My wife's already got into me about that.
Oh, no, because I'm gonna order the no contact. That's why I'm saying that's something that you and your wife will have to discuss after your probation is over. This is what the court is going to do. And cause number ended in 3-1. Court is going to sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 5 years. There's a $500 fine. I'll probate that. This is run concurrent with 2023 CR 0036. Take in consideration NIMAG number 7298876. There's to be restitution, if any, to Viviana Leyendecker. Cats 1 and 2. Cats 1 and 2 is going to teach you how not to steal, or at least tell you don't steal. There is to be no contact with TANGANYIKA, last name ROLNIK. There's to be proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Do you have any children?
They're adults already. Yes, ma'am. I got 2,
What are their ages?
23 and 22.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. We can do a TAP evaluation out of custody. If you miss that TAP evaluation appointment, that's a violation of your probation, so a warrant may be issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Follow TAP recommendations. There's to be no contact with Melinda McKinney. And that's MCKENNEY. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. Is there anything else probation in that cause number? No. All right, anything else you need from the court in that cause number?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and cause number ending in 36. Court is going to find you guilty. Assess punishment at 5 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. This run concurrent with 2022 CR 7131. Take in consideration NIMAG number 7298875, 7298876, grand jury number 804891. The BIPP course, there's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Melinda Kenny. 100 hours of community service restitution that will not be waived. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs, TAP evaluation, follow TAP recs. And the TAP evaluation can be out of custody. Proof of employment. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider with minors. Field visits, one time per month until further notice. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else that you need from the court and that cause number to help you do what's right? All right, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because these are plea bargain agreements, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because these are felony convictions, and also because there's an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. I know she has decided that she no longer wants to prosecute. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you start wanting to search their phone, then that means that there's no trust in your relationship, and maybe you shouldn't be in that relationship. I want you to hear me very clearly. You are not allowed to have any contact with her. You all obviously don't have any children together. If you do, you've already told me they're adults. So there's no need to contact her about children because they're adults. It is like you do not know her. If you have contact with her, a motion to revoke is going to be filed, and you're looking at potentially 5 years in the prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything that you do not understand about no contact? So that means no calling her on the phone, no sending her flowers saying I'm sorry, no sending her something for Friendsgiving or Thanksgiving or Christmas or any of the other holidays that are coming up. Don't send her anything for Valentine's Day. Don't send her thinking of you. No contact whatsoever. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Relationship is over.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, court is calling 2020 CR 8296, State of Texas versus Noah Jonathan Neelam. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Travis Banks for the state of Texas.
defense?
James Tochi for Mr. Nellam, Judge.
Are you the same Noah Jonathan Neelam who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 8296 for a period of 10 years?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Violating condition number 2 on or about the 7th day of June 2023 in Travis County, Texas. The defendant, Noah Jonathan Neelam, defendant there admit to illegally use a controlled substance, namely alcohol, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
And the state would waive and abandon the other allegation charge.
Any objection?
No, ma'am.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, the agreement is that the motion be denied and that the conditions of probation be altered and amended for ISF, the substance abuse trial.
All right, will they take him with his charges? Probation?
He know. If the court's referring to the allegations in the MTR, the charges no longer exist. We confirm are you talking about?
I'm talking about what
probation?
he's on probation for.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because if those charges no longer exist, we should not be here.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so here's my question for both parties. I understand that y'all are asking for ISF. There appears to be, and maybe I'm wrong, some cognitive issues as well. And then you all didn't go on the allegations in the motion with the OxyContin. So I'm not going to consider that as far as revocation, but I want to consider it as far as what's the best placement for him so that I don't see him back here again for violations. So does everybody agree that the ISF substantive track is the best answer?
I do, Judge, based on and I can let probation speak to it, but there appears to have been issues identified prior to the MTR being filed and them wanting the ISF prior to the MTR being filed.
Okay.
So the MTR just kind of created the vehicle for us to do it. And he definitely has a host of issues.
Oh, no, I remember this case because he was supposed to be staying at a facility in Round Rock.
He still is, Judge.
Okay,
And we talked about it. He likes it there. And my understanding from him is he performs very well there. But he does have some issues that definitely need to be addressed.
so why did this happen if he's at the Round Rock facility? Because I remember distinctly, because my mind's a steel trap. I remember we had a huge hearing on this case where the people from Round Rock were coming in by Zoom saying what they would be able to do for him. And then there was a concern about who would be in the home, and I wanted somebody near his age and not super older people. Well, not really super older, but middle-aged people who would perhaps take advantage. But then I didn't want him to be there with younger people either, because perhaps he would be taking advantage.
Yeah.
So what went wrong?
I cannot speak to any of those issues, Judge. I know that there was a new allegation that was dismissed in Travis County. And then the allegations regarding alcohol and OxyContin. So I just met Mr. Mellon today. We did talk about his progression in living there, and he seems to think it's a good, stable environment. And I read through the summary, which more or less indicated that as well, but I can't answer that.
All right, so here's my question. If he's doing well there and the charges were dismissed, why are we not just sending him back there?
I think the substance abuse issues are what we're trying to address with this.
All right, so this is, any objections to my reading this letter from the Resources Center?
No objection from the state.
No, man.
All right, so what I read in this Resource Center is that he tested positive for OxyContin. And he's saying that he was given a pain pill by someone at the Day Resource Center for a toothache. And he's saying that he shouldn't have used anything that would have made him test positive for marijuana. So, do we believe this to be true, that somebody gave him something for a toothache?
I don't know. I was not.
You want to raise your right hand for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Noah Jonathan Nellum.
All right. So you want to explain to me about the toothache?
Yes, Your Honor, I was in pain at one time, and my tooth was hurting, and I felt like, because I had came back from the dentist, and they had put molars in my teeth, and some I think it was cavities or something, but they put something in my teeth to where like it was hurting me bad. And so they one of my staff at the day have, she gave me a pill, and it like kind of like helped to take away the pain.
All right, this is what the court is going to, any other questions?
No, ma'am.
No questions from the state.
All right, court is going to deny the motion, alter and amend conditions. And I want him referred back to the center located in Round Rock, Texas. And he's to be released to the home only. I remember last time somebody actually came to pick him up.
Yeah.
So he's to be picked up by the home. Here's the thing, Mr. Nellum, I understand that there are issues, right? I understand that there are some cognitive issues, but you just can't be taking medication that's not prescribed to you.
Yes,
So if somebody at the home wants to offer you something, you let them know that the judge said you cannot take medication that's not prescribed to you.
prescribed to me. Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else?
No, Judge.
Is there anything you need from the court?
No, ma'am.
All right, so you're going to be released from the jail once someone from that facility comes to pick you up.
Okay.
All right, and Mr. Toshi,
Yes, ma'am.
if you could call that center and find out when they'll be able to pick him up.
Can do that, Judge.
All right, thank you. And if you could
Thank
return
you, Your
that,
Honor.
you're welcome. Good luck to you.
You
And-
too.
All right, And if you could make sure that gets back to probation. Ms. Lamar Polk, could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Michael Bellavo for Mr. Polk.
Are you Mr. Polk?
Yes, ma'am, I'm Mr. Polk, Cortez.
Okay. Wait, are you Polk Cortez or Cortez Lamar Polk?
Cortez Lamar Polk.
Okay, going to show you what's entitled motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Truly, yes.
Are you the same Cortez Polk who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 7494 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on August 23rd, 2022 for a term of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 2, on or about the 31st day of August, 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Cortez Lamar Polk, did then and there admit to the illegal use of K2 in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $1,500 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, to alter and amend for DDRF and to deny the motion.
That is the agreement.
All right, what is the wait time for DDRF? All right, so what's the other option than waiting in jail for 6 to 13 weeks?
And due to him being, he's already done lifetime recovery twice. He did drug court, he was in drug court from 2017 to 2023 when he was exited because of the result. There are some mental health issues, and there aren't any other viable places I think.
Does felony drug court want him back?
You're not reached out to them.
All right, we'll see if felony drug court wants you back.
He would rather not go back to.
Would you rather go to prison?
No, ma'am, but I don't want to go back to drug court.
Well, it's either that or prison. Which would you prefer? Because it appears that you won't stop using drugs. Why do you continue to use drugs? That's the question.
Due to my mental health.
All right, so the persons who can address that mental health will be felony drug court. And I know why people don't want to go to felony drug court, because it's hard, because they make you do stuff every day, because you can't just lay in bed all day and get up at noon and think that's getting up in the morning. But here's the thing. The state and your attorney are trying to help you with your mental health issues. But if you don't want help with your mental health issues, then the choice for you is prison. Now, if you would like to go to prison, I will send you to prison. You can go to prison for 3 years. Would you like to go to prison for 3 years?
Oh, ma'am.
All right. So obviously, you're not in charge of your mental health. You're not in charge of your ability to remain clean and sober, because if you were, we would not be here. You would have successfully completed felony drug court. You would have successfully completed lifetime in the sense that you're not back here. It appears that your answer to whatever issues you have is always drugs. And they're illegal drugs, and you're on probation for drugs. So what do you want us to do? I mean, that's a question. What do you want me to do?
I need some help. I need help.
Well, I'm giving you help. Your help is you going back to,
Give me some help.
yeah, felony
That's what
drug
helped
court.
me. That's what
Felony
helped me.
drug court. That's help. Now, if you don't want that, then you can go to prison. It's completely up to you. Those are your choices. Either you are going to go to the programs that are recommended for you, or either you can go to prison. And guess what? If you go to prison, will I remember you and your name and everything? Yeah, because my mind is a steel trap. But am I going to be laying down at night crying because, oh my gosh, Mr. Polk went to prison because he chose to go to prison? No, because guess what? There's somebody else over in the box who probably needs help as well. and they're gonna say, I'll take whatever help you can give me as opposed to prison. So those are your choices.
I'll take the drug court.
All right, do a referral back to felony drug court. If felony drug court says no, then he can wait in custody for DDRF. And I'll deny the motion.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Is there anything else?
Nope.
All right.
All right, thank you.
22 CR 8049, State of Texas versus Stephanie Clyde.
Present, Your Honor.
All right, can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Travis Banks from the state of Texas.
Defense,
Because of the interest, Stephanie, please.
and you on this side? And how do you pronounce your last name?
Leave now.
All right. And are you Stephanie Cleave? And state's motion, a supplement pending motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Stephanie Cleave who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 8049 for the offense of theft under $2,500 enhanced on September 22nd, 2022 for a period of 3 years?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
On or about, violating condition number 2, on or about the 18th day of May 2023 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Stephanie Cleave, did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
And the state will waive and abandon the other allegations.
Any objections to the waivers?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to $1,000 fine and 1 year in the state jail facility?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is recommending that the conditions be, to deny the motion and that the conditions be altered and amended for a 6 months extension of the community supervision and a 30-day jail sanction with credit for time served. And she has been in jail the last 30 days and a BIPP course. And taking that into consideration, the state is making a motion to dismiss night mag number 719294.
719294. And what is that offense?
That's a assault family second offense.
And who is the complainant in that case?
Her name is
Laura Sabatino, Your Honor.
Nora?
Laura, Laura, and I just spoke with her, and she is aware of this situation.
Okay, and what's the last name?
Sabatino, Sabatino.
All right. Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, yes.
You
ma'am.
can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Stephanie Cleave.
All right, who is Laura Sabatino to you?
She is my partner, girlfriend.
All right. And do you currently live with her?
Yes, ma'am.
And does she want her living with her?
I believe she does, yes, Your Honor.
So I realize y'all are taking that in consideration, but part of my job is to make sure that everyone is protected. So with regards to that case, were there any injuries?
There was some redness, not serious injuries or anything.
All right, was there alcohol or anything involved with that?
I don't believe there's immediate evidence that there was alcohol involved.
All right, why are you doing poorly on probation? Because there are other allegations that the state could have proceeded on and they did not. So why are you doing poorly? Why are you not taking your drug testing?
Your Honor, I was taking care of my father and I had a lot of stress and I didn't have a vehicle at the time. So it was hard getting around.
Did you call probation and tell them that?
Yes, ma'am.
So you called and told them, I'm not going to do drug testing because I'm taking care of my father and there are other issues I have going on?
Well, no, ma'am, but I did keep in contact with my probation officer and let her know that I did not have a vehicle, but I did show up, on time.
Are you employed?
I do Uber and DoorDash right now. That's
All
what I
right.
was doing.
No, were you employed July 2nd, 2023?
No, ma'am.
September?
Yes, the end of September.
All right. So how much were you being paid?
Not much. I was doing just maybe 2 days a week. So
Why didn't you take the VIA bus?
Excuse me?
Why didn't you take the VIA bus to probation? VIA, when I was riding VIA, I think it was $1. They may have gone up to $2.
Yes, ma'am.
That's cheaper than gas. So why didn't you go and do your UA with probation? Because when people don't do UAs in court, that tells me that there's a drug issue going on, because otherwise you would do your UAs.
Well, the ones I did take, I was negative.
Mhm.
I know what you're saying though, Your Honor. Yes, with all due respect.
So you've given me no excuses for why I should follow this agreement. You picked up a new case. The state is taking it into consideration. And you're not doing your UAs. Has she done anything?
I would like to point out, Your Honor, her last office visit to probation was July 24th of 2023. So since July, I don't know how long she's been in custody, but we haven't had any office visits with her. We don't have one, looking at it, one UA on file, and that was negative. And as far as fees is concerned, there's not been any fees, there's no fees that she's paid on.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Just 1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
It indicates she hasn't registered from the desk course. She would be did her TAP evaluation, and she has not been registered yet to the IOP because of the
Excuse me. You need to be paying attention to what you have not been doing. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, you can pay attention at the state jail facility, wondering how I got here. All right, so what else?
Have not enrolled her into the IOP for the Wisconsin, and then it doesn't indicate she provided proof of employment.
All right, so do you need an updated TAP or no?
And I'm sorry, Judge, all of the community services are still outstanding.
So do you need an updated TAP?
No, we can use the top that we have on file.
All right. And there appears that there was something you wanted to say?
Your Honor, yes, I did complete the first theft class. That should be on record, but the other one was like $300 and I was working on completing that. And I will do my community service. I will be on top of that. And I will do better. I promise, Your Honor.
All right, the court will deny the motion, alter them in conditions, extend her for a year. You're to enroll in the BIPP course no later than see what the calendar gives us. No later than November 13th. There's to be no contact with Laura Sabatino. There's a 30-day jail sanction. And the court will show that that's been satisfied. Take in consideration NIMAC number 719294. And she's to enroll an IOP no later than November 9th. And is there anything else that she needs to enroll in immediately, probation?
Honor, enrolling her in IOP for 9 may not be possible, but we could get process started by November.
All right.
Um,
All right, and you're gonna do 90 sober support meetings in 90 days. And if Miss Laura Sabatino wants to have contact with you, then she'll need to come into the court to express that to the court.
Your Honor, she's here now. I don't know if you want to talk to her now. From what I understand is that they live together. They help take care of her elderly father. She's power of attorney of her 76-year-old father who needs help on his day-to-day activities. Laura Sabatino's now, if you'd like to talk to her, I'm sure she would love to change that to no harmful or injurious contact. If you want to talk to her another day,
Yeah, we'll have to set it for another day because I don't have any police reports or any facts on that. But if you'll set that with Miss Ferguson, we'll get it on the docket as soon as possible. We'll probably be able to get it on the docket for next week. All right. And then if we'll set it next week, then we can do a check-in on how she's doing. Norma, can you recall this for November? What date would be best to recall her for to see how she's doing probation?
for next week, Your Honor, as far as, I mean,
Having enrolled in everything or had the process started?
it's hard to say, Your Honor, only
Okay.
because of the probation officer's calendar. I don't know if they'll be able to get her in next week.
Okay.
She's not set for an appointment, so I can try to make sure that she understands she needs to contact them right after court
Okay.
and go from there.
Okay. All right. Well, whenever you want to put it on the docket for Miss Sabatino, just let the court know. Well, he said he's going to file a motion so that she can have contact with Miss Sabatino. Yes. All right. Thank you. All right. Who's here on Pedro Montemares?
Come on up, Pedro. Matamoros. Yes. Judge, just kind of off the record, I'll start out by telling you that there's been a slight change in our application
Yes.
that we asked for, that you reset it to finish up the application process for probation. Okay.
What?
I think he's going to want to withdraw that and ask for you to decide between 2 and 5, I believe is what.
All right. If you all want to do a plea page, redo that.
Okay.
Have you already done that?
No, ma'am, I just have the old one, so this is new information since this morning, Judge. So initially it was gonna be 5 silent, now he's saying, he just wants to do offer.
Okay. So if you all want to write what your to-do offer is.
Just change it to a cap.
All right. And you all will need to sign off on it.
Sure. So he's making this anywhere between 2 and 5. Okay. So would you initial like that, please? So you agree with that? Thank you. Okay.
Oh, Judge, do we need to sign the bottom?
There.
Yes.
This is his, I guess. Oh, yes. This is a good idea.
And so his plea bargain agreement was really originally for him to apply
Yes.
for probation or deferred adjudication. Now he just wants to do time. And so I'll make a decision because they're agreeing to capify, which means I can sentence him anywhere from 5 to 2 years. Well, from 2 to 5 years in the prison.
Let me put a date on here.
Thank you. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 6552W, State of Texas versus Pedro Montemoris. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Jim Oltensdorf for Pedro Matamoros.
And are you Mr. Montemoris? All right, you entered a plea to the offense of robbery on July 31st. It was scheduled for a PSI and TAP evaluation. And then there was a DDRF evaluation that we were waiting the results on. According to your original plea bargain agreement, you applied for deferred adjudication. The state was requesting that your punishment be assessed at 5 years in the prison, and they were silent on your application. I've just been informed by both parties that you wish to withdraw your application for deferred adjudication. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, make sure you keep your voice up. You can lower your hand. If you'll state your name for the record, please.
Pedro Matamoros.
All right, Mr. Montemoris, you understand that your original plea bargain agreement was for the state to remain silent on your application?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're asking that your application for deferred adjudication or probation be withdrawn?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you discussed the withdrawing of that application with your attorney?
Yes.
And there's a new offer that has been tendered to the court. Is that correct, state and defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And state, would you like to offer into evidence the new plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. State offers, state's exhibit 1, or sorry, it's 2. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Any objection?
No objections.
All right. All right, Mr. Montemoris, I'm going to show you what's the entitled the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the new plea bargain agreement, which the court does not have to follow, you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
The court can go with your original agreement. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
But according to this new agreement, you're asking that your punishment be assessed at a cap of 5 years, and the state will remain silent. All other conditions are to remain. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, have both party, any questions, I'm sorry, for Mr. Montemoris?
Yes, Your Honor, may I?
Yes.
Pedro, you've heard everything here today, and we've talked before we came up, and you've expressed to me that I guess in your words, you just want to get this over with as well as you can. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you and I worked with the state a little bit about kind of pulling all that back to now it's a cap of 5. And you understand that means a judge can go anywhere from 2 to 5. And I explained there's no promises made by me or by Mr. Wilkins over here about what the judge will do. I was going to tell her a couple of things that I know about her, about you, excuse me. Tell her some things that I've found out about you that I think are in your favor, but I'm going to give you a chance briefly. Is there, what's your family situation like? Are you raising children? Give the judge a little bit of background so she can know a little bit about what to do.
I'm not married. I have children, yes, but I rarely get to see them.
Okay. When you were working, what kind of work do you do?
I was doing residential and commercial plumbing.
Plumbing?
Yeah.
When you were arrested, around the time you were arrested, and it's been a while now, were you engaged in that working kind of on a steady basis?
Not at that moment.
Okay. Do you have a chance when you're released from jail? It sounds like a skilled job. Is it? Is
Yes.
plumbing something that requires training?
Yes.
How long has you been doing the plumbing before you?
Yeah, I was doing it under the table. I was working for my friend named Miguel. I've been doing it for like a good 2-3 years on and off.
Okay. So did that involve installing things or just were you just digging a hole? Or? Okay. It's pretty hard work.
Yeah.
Correct. But you were learning about.
Yeah, at the same time I was learning. Yeah.
All right, you all got to make sure that it's one at a time. And I'm sorry, you're going to have to speak up. The court reporter won't be able to hear you.
You were, the judge just said, when I talk, you stop, and I'll do the same thing. So you, by doing the digging to get the work going, you also stayed around, I assume, and observed someone that was a master plumber, right, doing the work, right?
Yes,
And you were learning from that, I assume, correct?
yes, sir.
So eventually you would be able to move up the ladder and do the kinds of things that you'd already observed him doing.
Yes, sir.
Did you assist him in those other jobs as well as digging?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I have, Your Honor.
All right, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, so why did you commit this crime?
I really don't have an answer for that.
So when's the last time you were treated for your mental health issues?
I believe it was in 2016, I think.
So it appears from looking at your history, none of it is violent offenses, but you have issues. Your issue is your mental health evaluation, which is bipolar and schizophrenia. And then we have you doing a lot of drugs, meth, Xanax, and heroin. So when's the last time you used heroin before you were taken into custody?
It was the day before I was locked up. I got locked up, yeah.
Okay.
When I got locked up, I was on Xanax.
Okay. And then I'm reading the report that your mother doesn't want you in the home, so you have no place to stay. So basically what you're asking me to do is, I'm assuming you're going to ask me to send you to prison for the minimum, which would be 2 years. And then because you want to get everything over with, and then you're going to come out, you're still going to have your mental health issues that you're not being treated for. You're still going to be homeless because you're not going to have employment when you get out of prison. And we're going to be right back where we are now, which is you committing a crime and you come in before another judge, only this time you're going to be a repeater. So here's what I can do. You can either do 5 years in prison. That's what I would give you. Or either I will give you deferred adjudication. On deferred adjudication, we'll get you some help for your mental health issues and for your drug issues. But what I can tell you is, one, you're not a gang member, according to the report that I've received. What I can tell you is, when you leave the prison, if you decide to go through the easy route, which is go to prison and do your time, maybe they'll let you out in 2 years, who knows? But when you get out, you're going to think you have your life together. But prison normally is not a place where people get their life together. You're still going to have mental health issues. You're still going to have no place to stay. And the last time you use may be the last time you use, in which case your mom may end up reading about somebody on the news or seeing somebody on the news and having to go identify your body. So you have a choice. If you want prison, I will send you to prison for 5 years. If you want deferred adjudication, I will give you deferred adjudication. The state is silent. But Deputy Laura always says probation in this court is not easy. So which would you prefer, prison or probation?
Will I get help in probation? Like, they're gonna help me with
You'll probably be going to SafeP or inpatient treatment to begin with, because there's a waiting list in felony drug court, but I would refer you to felony drug court because they have a dual diagnosis that can help you with your mental health issues and also help you with housing and employment. Or you can do prison.
I'll take the probation.
All right. So how old are your children?
My oldest is 12. My two youngest are 7, and one of them passed away. So,
all right. So hopefully you can get your life together where you can be in their life. But right now you got to work on you. You understand? All right. So I'm going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication. This is the run concurrent with 710670. Take in consideration the following: 2023 CR 3373 710671. There's to be no contact with the following: Tiffany with an I, Aries, Ayres, Wayne McClintock, Eskiel. I know I'm mispronouncing that. That's Esequiel, Rivas. The Best Western at 6855 Northwest Loop 410 78238. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. I'm going to do a referral to felony drug court. And we're going to do safe P. And he's to remain in custody. Going to do 250 hours of community service restitution. Going to order parenting classes. If he successfully completes parenting classes, then 100 hours will be waived. How far did you go in school?
I just made it to 9th.
All right, why did you drop out at 9th?
I had issues with somebody in the same.
I'm sorry, what?
I had issues with somebody in the same school.
What did he say?
Inside the school, he had issues with someone inside
Okay.
the school.
All right. The remaining 150 hours will be waived if he obtains his GED or goes to some type of trade school and completes it. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. The UA hotline, 90 sober meetings in 90 days upon release. Field visits, 1 time per month until further notice. Proof of employment within 45 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. So if you start doing well and your children want to have contact with you, it'll have to start off with supervised contact. You understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Well, why does it have to be supervised if nothing? It had nothing to do with my children.
I'm sorry, what?
If the case had nothing to do with my children, why does it have to be supervised?
All right. The best way I
I'm
can,
just asking.
no, and I appreciate that. Let me give you an example. Do you love your children
Yeah, I do.
and you would do anything for them
Yes,
and you want them protected?
yes.
All right. So let's say that you need a babysitter for your children. Okay.
Mhm.
And somebody recommends me to you to babysit your children. And you say, great, her credentials are great. My friends say she's a great babysitter, but you say, it's my children. I still want to test her out. So you have me come to your house to babysit your children. First day, everything goes well. Second day, you say, you know what? I'm going to set up cameras to make sure everything's going well. And I'm going to go to the grocery store. You go to the grocery store, you watch what's happening on your house on camera. I'm great, right? And then your children love me. So you say, your probationary period is over. I want to hire you as a babysitter. And your children are so ecstatic because I'm the Black Mary Poppins. Everybody loves me. So as I'm leaving to walk out the door, I'm happy. I'm like, let me just tell you something that you don't know about me. And I say, I'm bipolar and schizophrenic. I'm not on my medications. And before I came here to babysit your children, I used heroin and Xanax. Do you still hire me? Will you let me around your children without being supervised?
I understand.
That's why. All right, probation, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Montemoris, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. So in this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. Talk to your probation officer. If you feel there is something that they're not addressing, you can always come back to the court and we'll address it here. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
From here on out, everything you do, you need to ask yourself a question. Is this something that could potentially result in me going to prison for 20 years? If the answer is no, don't do it. If it's maybe, don't do it. And in this court, I take reporting very seriously. So you need to always report to your probation officer. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. All right, did y'all confirm with probation?
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm sorry, you said we conferred to probation, yes.
all right. Court is calling 2022 CR 6748 and 2022 CR 6827, State of Texas versus Aisha Calderon. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense.
Andrew Fraley.
And are you Aisha Calderon?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the documents entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and First Amendment Motion to Revoke Community Supervision in each cause number with your attorney, and did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Aisha Calderon who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 6748 for the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle on September 22nd, 2022 for a term of 5 years?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you the same Aisha Calderon who was placed on community supervision in cause number 2022 CR 6827 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram on September 22nd, 2022 for a term of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State, are you proceeding on the same allegations in each motion?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Any objection to the state reading the allegation and the defendant's answer being for both motions? Defense?
Any objection? No, Your Honor.
Right, state?
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 44 on or about the 26th day of October 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Aisha Calderon did then and there failed to comply with the rules and regulations of Esperanza Court, and the defendant refused to comply with the treatment recommendations of the court in violation of condition number 44.
All right, just off the record for a moment. I'm looking, I don't see a violation of 44 on the motions that I had. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, how do you plead to the violations in each motion? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, we'll waive the remaining violated conditions.
No objections.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 44, the court could find it true, grant a motion, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility in each cause number and up to a $1,500 fine in each cause number? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 44?
Yes, ma'am.
In each cause number, the court will find violation of condition number 44 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor, and that is to revoke the individual offer of probation and to sentence her to 1 year in the state jail facility on both cause numbers.
That is the agreement, Judge. We asked those run concurrent.
All right, why should I do that?
Judge, she was unsuccessful. She's been in custody for some time. I know that she wanted to address the court and be open to any questions you may have.
Yes, why wasn't she
Apologies.
successful in Esperanza Court? You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Aisha Calderon.
All right, you can lower your hand. So why were you unsuccessful in Esperanza Court?
It's just honestly, Your Honor, I'm trying to get back to my family. I'm not.
Judge, for just one more patient. Let me talk.
Yeah, but why were you unsuccessful? Excuse me, sorry. Why were you unsuccessful? That's my question. So you say you want to get back to your family, so that's why you were unsuccessful?
No, ma'am. I was unsuccessful because I can't do it, Your Honor. I'm
Why
trying.
not?
Judge, may I help?
No, I mean, I want to hear from her. Why,
I understand.
why can't you do it?
I tried, Your Honor. I tried the whole treatment thing. I got on Suboxone. I've been off drugs. But unfortunately, me and my judge from the Esperanza Court had a disagreement on the medication I was taking.
What medication for what?
Suboxone
Mhm.
for my drug use. When I was in the Alpha home. And she don't think it fits me. She don't think it's right for me. It was helping me. I believe it was helping me because I've been off drugs. So
Well, I mean, you can't be on, that's sort of like when people are taking methadone for heroin. You're not supposed to be on methadone for the rest of your life because then you're just replacing another drug with another one. So you had a disagreement with your judge in that court, then what?
then I went back to jail, and I'm here.
So why didn't you just do what was asked of you?
I tried, she violated me. That's why I'm here.
Well, I mean, I'm sure she gave you a choice. It wasn't, we're just violating you. Were you not given a choice? Either do what you're being told or you're getting a motion to revoke. Were those your two choices?
Yeah, when I came to jail, she didn't, when I had court with her through Zoom, when I was in the Alpha home, she had told me that she violated me. I came forward with her because she didn't know that I was on the medication that I was taking in the Alpha home. And she said, okay, well, I'm gonna violate you. Those weren't my conditions. So I came to jail.
What conditions are you talking about?
For me being on medication. I wasn't allowed to be on the Suboxone or methadone or anything like that. So she violated me, and when I came to jail, that's what happened.
You've taken me from A to Z and you've skipped over low. Will fall in your story. So let me see if I can get this right. You were ordered into Alpha home, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And while you were in Alpha home, you were on medication?
Yes, ma'am.
Was this medication that was prescribed to you by a doctor, I'm assuming?
Yes, ma'am, by the Alpha home.
Okay, and did the judge know that the Alpha home prescribed this to you?
My counselor was there with me, yes, so when I was in court, my counselor was sitting with me.
Oh, Mr. Garrahan, you may continue to confer.
Thank you, Judge.
And
But no. I want to hear what she has to say. Yeah, she's a witness on the witness stand.
I want to help her.
I know. People got to learn how to express themselves. So
I understand.
I'm patient. I have patience in my pocket. I take it out if needed. So don't think that you're getting on my nerves or anything like that. I'm trying to get you to express to me what's going on because I need to make a decision whether or not I'm going to give you the year that you all agreed to, or either 2 years or anywhere in between. You understand?
yes, ma'am.
So you're at the Alpha home. Esperanza Court wanted you in Alpha home. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So then is Alpha home the person who put you on the medication?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So was the court aware that Alpha home put you on the medication?
No, not until 2 weeks after I was on the medication. But I didn't think it was a problem. I thought being in the Alpha home, I didn't really think, that it would be a problem being that it was prescribed to me.
Well, whenever you're in a treatment court, all medications are an issue and you have to tell them about all medications you're on.
Yes, ma'am. I see that now.
So I still find it hard to believe that you're saying that the judge sent you back to me for that one violation. What else was going on at Esperanza Court? Because it had to be more than that. And I don't think, and if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I don't think you're in treatment at alcohol and all of a sudden you're on medication and the judge is just like, I'm done, you're on medication, you're being kicked out of the court. I find that hard to believe. So what else was going on that got you sent back to my court?
Well, I left, Your Honor. I left the alcohol.
All right, now we're getting to the situation. So you left the alpha home,
Yes, ma'am.
and did anybody give you permission to leave the alpha home?
No, ma'am.
Why did you leave the alpha home?
Because my judge said that she was putting a warrant out for my arrest. She wanted me to turn myself in, but I didn't. I left.
All right, and where did you go?
To my friends that I was staying with, Marcy.
Right. Any other questions?
Yes, Judge. And then, so you voluntarily left off.
Yes.
That's the reason why you're here.
Yes.
And you take full responsibility for that, right?
Yes, I did.
You knew that was gonna get you violated.
Yes.
And it was gonna get you in trouble. You're gonna get sent back to jail. You knew that, right?
Yes.
But you did it anyway. I'm sorry, but you did that anyway?
Yes.
And you want to tell the judge that you take full, we talked about this earlier, and you said you want to take full responsibility for your actions, right?
Yes, ma'am. I do want to take full responsibility, Judge. I realize now that last time I had you in court, you had told me that my people, places, and things would basically get me nowhere, and they haven't. I realize that now.
So what you had told me earlier was that when the judge talked to you before, it was about who you were hanging out with, right?
Yes.
And the people you associate yourself with used to be the problem. It
Yes.
still is the problem, right?
Yes.
That was something that you told me that you remember the judge telling you.
Yes.
And then now you have a plan going forward
Yes, I do.
where whenever you're released, whenever that is, be it whenever that is, your plan is to move back and leave San Antonio.
Yes.
Where are you gonna go?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania,
With
with my brother and my sister.
And the reason is because you don't have the same temptations for drugs that you do in Pittsburgh because
I'm with my family.
you don't, it's not as easy to get those when you know everybody in San Antonio.
No, it's not.
And does your brother and sister-in-law have children?
No.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. In each cause number, the court is granting the motion. The court will sentence you to 18 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, $1,500 fine, time and money run concurrent. Cause numbers will run concurrently, and there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. And each cause number, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is not a plea bargain agreement, you do have a limited right to appeal. And that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on community supervision. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you would like, I could have you referred to the therapeutic community. I'm not in charge of whether or not they grant you placement in the therapeutic community. That will be completely up to them. The therapeutic community does not increase the time that you're in custody. Would you like that or no?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so in each cause number, the court will recommend the therapeutic community. All right, we can go off the record. You're still gonna have to change your life, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And changing people, places, and things, that is true, but make sure your changing of people, places, and things is not you running away from your problems, you understand? Because whenever you stop running, the problem that you were running away from is still right there. All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, if I can see Elizabeth Messiel. Hi.
Thank you for taking my time.
Oh, no problem. And how do you pronounce your last name? Marcial. Court is calling 2023 CR 5382A, State of Texas versus Elizabeth Teresa Maciel. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
defense?
Rolando Wade for the defense.
And are you Elizabeth Maciel?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Maciel, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Ms. Maciel, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, is there an application in this case?
There's not, Your Honor.
There was initially, Judge, we changed it to no app today, Judge.
All right, did you understand you're charged with the offense of theft under $2,500 enhanced? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and
Yes,
up to $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you are giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
She does, Judge.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
She was, Your Honor.
Ms. Macias, has anyone threatened you? I'm sorry, Maciel, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 1.5 years in the state jail facility, concurrent with 704-510. Take in consideration grand jury number 812048, JN number 2127815. There's to be restitution, if any, to Target located at 4522 Fredericksburg Road and Balcones Heights 78201. There's to be restitution to Patricio Esparza and cause number 720359. And taken in consideration, cause number 720359. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
We filed motions, Your Honor, but we didn't go to trial, so they were not ruled upon.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 and the attachments.
No
No
objections,
objections, Your Honor, for purposes of the plea.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. With regards to this 1.5 years, what is that about?
I believe it's a year and a half, so 18 months.
Probably using the wrong terminology, sorry about that, Judge.
Okay, and how much time does she have in?
11 days.
Okay. So why are you stealing?
I stole because, I was in foster care when I was little. I never really had nothing, so when my kids asked me for something.
No,
I
because let me
try to
just
be-
tell you, how old are you?
27.
27? At some, did you say 27?
Yes, ma'am.
At some point, the choices you make are choices of your own making. You can't continue to blame the fact that you were in foster care on you continuing to steal. So again, we're back to the point, why are you stealing? And this is not, oh, my children asked me for something, so I've given this to them, because again, this is the case where you took a child into Target to steal for you, and you were bringing a child into your criminal organization. So why are you having a child help you steal?
I didn't have the child help me steal.
No, you did, because the 5-year-old was pushing the cart with items in it. You were not pushing the cart. You had a 5-year-old, according to this police report, you were walking in front of the shopping cart. That 5-year-old was pushing a cart that you and your friends had loaded items with past the points of sale. That's what it says here. A child was pushing the cart. You were not pushing a cart. You knew you didn't pay for the items. Why are you having a 5-year-old steal items for you and push the cart?
My mom told me to.
You just said you were in foster care. So who's your mother?
Oh, somebody else.
All right, so why are you hanging around with a mother who is telling you to steal and get in a 5-year-old to steal?
I'm
sorry?
I don't know.
How can you not know?
For the record, Judge, the mother was a co-defendant in this case, and she has already pled to this as well. Is that correct, State?
Yeah, yes, Judge. She received 1 year, Judge.
Okay. Yes, I know I remember this case. So again, why are you involving children in theft?
I wouldn't involve my children now. It says that on the report, but it's not.
It's not your child?
That's not my child.
All right, so what you did then was you took an innocent child, somebody else's child, and you're involving them in theft.
I went with my mom to Target, just her child. And we
So
proceeded
with your mother's child, and y'all proceeded to commit a theft and involve the child in your criminal enterprise. So when are you going to stop stealing? Are you just planning on spending the rest of your life in and out of facilities because you had a bad childhood?
No, ma'am.
At some point, every tub got to sit on its own bottom. At some point, when you're an adult, it's no longer your parents' fault. Even if you had a horrible parent, it's no longer their fault. At some point, your decisions are decisions of your own making. And this 5-year-old, y'all involved in your criminal enterprise, guess what? When he becomes an adult, and if he were to start stealing at some point, he can't blame it on the mother who was a horrible mom and the sister who's a horrible sister who's getting him to commit crimes. And if you were in foster care, as you say you were, then that means that your mother was not a good parent, because otherwise you would not have been in foster care, and you probably shouldn't be hanging around with her. And if you're going to hang around with her, you should probably be being a positive influence on your siblings' lives instead of teaching them how to steal from Target. People don't like when people steal. And anything could have went south with you all stealing. Sometimes people get shot when they steal. And so because of you and your mother, a 5-year-old and the other children had to sit in a car and wait for somebody to come pick them up. And I'm sure they were sitting in the police car behind the cage window. And then everybody will be acting, oh, I can't believe the police officers put a 5-year-old in the car. When really what they should be saying, I can't believe an adult would involve a 5-year-old in criminal enterprise. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to find you guilty, sentence you to 18 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 704510. Take in consideration 812048, JN number 2127815, 720359. There is to be no contact with any target in the United States of America, overseas, or anywhere. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be restitution and no contact with Patricia Esparza and cause number 720359. There's to be restitution to the target at 4522 Fredericksburg Road, Balcones Heights, 78201. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing? Going to show you what the title trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're gonna go off the record. Here's the thing. Child Protective Services is in your life. You're old enough to know why they took you from your mom. And the fact that your mom is taking you on this criminal enterprise says she's not a good parent. She's not a good parent to you, so you probably shouldn't be hanging around with her. She's not a good parent to your siblings. So if you're going to be hanging around with your mom, it should only be for you to keep an eye on your siblings so they won't grow up to think stealing is a good job and it's an occupation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. So are you all ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 1642, State of Texas versus Janelle Garza. Can our parties approach and announce for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state.
Defense.
Elizabeth Russell for Janelle Garza.
Are you Janelle Garza?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, you received all the discovery. Did you review it with your client?
I did, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Garza, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Garza, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your
Do you understand you're charged with the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, sir.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Judge.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Garza, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your
According to the plea, there's a $500 fine to be probated. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution, if any, to Josiah Hernandez. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There isn't, Judge, but there might be an issue as to restitution. We are requesting a restitution hearing and we'd request a limited right to appeal on the restitution issue only if necessary.
There wouldn't necessarily be a right to appeal on the restitution hearing. It would be, this is the restitution amount. You all present evidence on that, and I either accept the amount as is or not, but there's no appealable issues for restitution.
Okay, Judge.
All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled, what's outside the agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 80 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Your Honor, I offer States Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No objection, Judge, but when given the opportunity, I would like to speak on behalf of Ms. Garza.
Okay, Ms. Garza, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge. Ms. Garza, at the time of the offense, had been a drug addict for several years. When she was arrested, it was her first felony arrest, and it scared her. It scared her enough to get clean and to get a job. Since May 10th of this year, she's been clean. She did it on her own without going to rehab because she couldn't afford to go to rehab. And she's been clean for over 6 months. She has reconciled with her mother, and she's been employed since June of this year. She is a different person than the person that committed this offense because she understood and is willing to take responsibility for exactly what happened and wants to move forward with her life. She understood a change was necessary. And I think the person that you see today is a different person than the person that committed this offense. So we would request you place her on deferred adjudication because of that for the 2-year period and just follow the state's recommendation, Judge.
And what did you do?
Like,
No, with regards to this offense.
what did I do?
Yes.
What do you mean? What did I do?
I mean, you're here for unauthorized use of a vehicle.
Oh,
So what did you do?
I took someone's vehicle without their permission.
All right, because the police report is saying, at least he's saying he was drugged after meeting a female at a bar. That's what I mean, you seem shocked. That's what's in the police report. Have you read it?
I went over it. It's just,
Yes.
I didn't read that exact part.
Oh,
that
yeah,
said
it
that
says-
he was drugged, but I understand.
So was he drugged?
No.
And then he said his debit card was taken without his permission as well.
I did not take his debit card.
Well, they found it in your purse. That's what the police report says. Because it says right here,
I don't
Victim-
remember them saying anything about that, and I
No.
don't remember having the debit card or anything.
it says, according to the original case number, victim had been drugged after meeting a female at the bar. Victim allowed the female to take him home in his vehicle. After waking up, he discovered his vehicle was gone with the keys, cell phones, and multicolored debit card. He found out later in the day his debit card had been used at a local gas station. The stolen vehicle, which is what we're here today, was found today, had the keys in the ignition, and had no signs of tampering in the steering column. Victim stated he never gave any consent to take or use his vehicle and wanted to process with charges. Victim gave us consent to process and search the vehicle. While searching the vehicle, victim's debit card was found inside her purse. So they're saying they found his debit card inside your purse.
Mhm.
The debit, well, I mean, you're saying,
No, I'm saying, I understand what you're saying. I don't recall them ever saying that or them telling me that or of them ever saying that they found a debit card in the purse. If they did,
yeah, that's what they say right here.
I understand. I just don't recall them ever telling me that personally or them ever bringing
Well,
that up
wait a
to me.
second. This is what the police report says. The debit card was a multicolored debit bank card. I also found a gray camouflage bag in the trunk with some work gear and victim's work identification card. Suspect, that's you, was advised of her rights and asked why victim's debit card was in her purse. Suspect said she found it in the vehicle and thought it belonged to her friend. The bag in the trunk, she said, was already there. She said she didn't know the vehicle was stolen. So the debit card was found in your purse. When you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I'll be clean.
All right, so we'll do a drug test today, then I'll come back with sentencing. All right, Ms. Abrams, can you do a drug test? All right, thank you. All right, we're back on the record in 2023 CR 1642. State versus Janelle Garza. So when's the last time you used marijuana?
Yesterday.
All right, so what, your attorney was singing your praises about how you've gotten your life together and you did it all on your own. So why are you using marijuana?
Well, I guess I should say I got my life together. I used to use meth for 5 years.
I'm sorry, what?
I used to use meth and
Yeah.
amphetamine for 5 years. That's what I've been clean for the last 6 months.
But marijuana is illegal here in Texas. So why are you using marijuana?
It just helps me with my anxiety. That's basically it.
All right. But as a part of the program
I
and
would
taking
know-
responsibility,
Yes,
when
ma'am.
your attorney was singing your praises, talking about how you clean and sober, you know that sobriety does not mean that you're using marijuana. You should have stopped her and said, wait a minute. Let me tell you something. But you didn't. You waited till you got caught.
I mean,
You did.
that's your opinion, yes. And
No, I mean, that's true. Let me ask you this. Did you interrupt your attorney and tell her, I'm not clean and sober because I'm using marijuana? That's yes or no. Did you tell her that?
I told her that I was using marijuana, yes.
I mean, when you were before the bench.
No. But because I just feel like there's different types of sobriety. For me, the meth use was really bad. So,
Well,
and I couldn't carry a job for the last 5 years. And in the last 6 months that I have been sober from methamphetamines, I have been able to get a job and get a car and see my daughter every day and be a mom and be present.
You're not allowed to use marijuana while you're on probation.
I understand that. And I understand that I would not be able to use it and I won't use it.
But do you understand you're not clean and sober?
Yes. And
So what do you do for a living?
I'm a nanny.
Oh, not anymore. I don't allow people on felony probation to be nannies, to be home health care providers, and especially someone who's not clean and sober. And who are you a nanny to? Is this a relative or somebody?
Yes.
Sister, cousin, who is it? All right. So that job is over with today. You understand?
Yes.
So how far did you go in school?
I went all the way through high school. I graduated and I went through some trade school. I had my medical assistant. I went through medical assistant school. I finished that.
And where are your children?
Right now she's at school.
And how old? Do you only have one
I
child?
only have one. She's 14.
And does she live with you?
Yes. And my mom and my grandparents and my other family.
When you say your mom, your grandparents and other family, what is other family?
My aunt, my other aunt, there's a whole bunch of us that live at my grandma's house.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. Are there any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, there's a $500 fine that will be probated. 3 years deferred adjudication. Going to do a TAP evaluation, follow recommendations. If they recommend inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. There's going to be 90 sober meetings in 90 days. I'm going to want her tested for levels. If the marijuana levels go up, then we're going to address that.
Yes.
There is going to be the UA hotline. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. $100 hours of community service restitution. Parenting classes. Once she completes parenting classes, 50 of those hours will be deemed to be satisfied. You're either going to get a higher level education, or either you're going to complete trade school or whatever you're going to do. That's going to be required. And once that's completed, then the remaining of the community service will be deemed to be satisfied. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors.
Other than her daughter, accurate?
No unsupervised contact with minors.
With her.
I'm sorry?
I won't ever be unsupervised with her.
I'm sorry, what?
I won't ever be unsupervised with my daughter.
All right,
My mom always is there with her.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And do you have any CPS history?
There was a long time ago, but they were both closed and dropped,
All right, and what was the CPS history concerning?
due to my meth use.
Okay. I'm gonna want field visits. One time per month for 3 months. And if there are no issues, then it'll be one time every 4 months. Restitution, if any, and no contact with Josiah Hernandez and counsel. If there is restitution that's determined by probation and you think it's inappropriate, you can come back for a hearing.
Judge, I do think we're gonna need a hearing. They've submitted numbers to restitution that we believe is inappropriate.
Okay. All right, and probation, is there anything else she needs?
Your Honor, I apologize. You said restitution if any and no contact with Josiah Hernandez.
Yes. And it's Josiah.
Thank you, Judge. Nothing else, Judge.
Is there anything you need from the court to be successful?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And then if you all want, Ms. Ferguson will set it for a restitution hearing. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record in this court. Communication is key. If you want to be successful on probation, you'll need to communicate with the probation officer. If there's an issue and you feel they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else?
No, Judge.
All right, just have a seat. They'll go over conditions with you.